telling you, I was talking to you earlier about going to Vietnam, and I'm not good. I mean, although I like to travel, as you know, I like to go to exotic places. This is going to come as a surprise to you, Rick, but I do look very English when I'm abroad. I'm 6'7". I'm quite pasty and white, and I find it very hard to blend in with, say, Vietnamese people.
Sure.
But this time I thought I'd embrace this, and I've brought you something as to show you. It's not really going to be very helpful on the Enemy Radio, but I decided to wear a hat. I thought I'd buy a hat and wear a hat, and I thought that I bought this last minute as I was just before I got on the plane. I was doing some shopping. I thought I need to, because you think
it'd be something like from a Graham Greene novel,
right? Exactly.
They'd go, they call him the Englishman.
Exactly.
He's the wisest, and exactly.
So I thought, because you can kind of reinvent yourself when you're abroad in some way, can't you?
Yeah.
And so this is the hat I got.
Christ.
Maybe you should look away for a second. I'll put it on, and then you can. Now, bear in mind, it is a bit battered because it's been in bags and stuff.
Sure. Steve, what are you thinking? Right.
No, it is a bit battered and damaged, I admit.
Okay, how can I, right, it looks like a cross between something Miss Marple would wear.
That's nonsense.
No, it does. It looks a bit like that. And there's a beer with a bloke drinking, what's that called? Moretti beer?
I think you're thinking of the Hofmeister bear.
No, I'm not. It looks like Miss Marple's hat.
It doesn't look like Miss Marple's hat. It's a kind of moddy, isn't it? It's
not. It's a tweed thing that comes down that an old lady would wear.
Not tweed.
It was a librarian lady would wear in the 1930s.
It's not tweed.
I have never seen it. That you didn't really buy that, did you, to wear?
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Right. Can I take a picture of this and I'll put it on my website? Exactly. Right, I am now taping this on a camcorder. I will put this up on rickygervais.com.
I disagree. I think this genuinely looks good. I think it makes me look a bit like, say, Tom Waits or Farmer Barlow. The point is this, right? I'm wearing the hat, I'm looking good, okay? But people, obviously, they can sense that I'm a moneyed tourist. They can see how good I look, and they know I got a little bit of money in my pocket, I can afford to buy hats, and everything. So obviously I'm always a target for people trying to get money from me, stuff like that, which is always a hassle, isn't it? And I find it very difficult tipping when I'm abroad. I don't really understand what the rules are with tipping, and that's a big anxiety for me. And also I have problems with the conversion, because obviously when you go abroad. So the Vietnamese dong. Come on, there's nothing funny about that. That's just what it's called, right? For $63 US, you can get 1 million dong, right? That's a lot of dong. So I'm packing like
a huge dong.
I got 2 million dong, in me money belt under my shirt. Right?
Yeah, so look at this image, right? You were wearing that hat and a bum bag.
Yes, but no, I don't have a bum bag. I have a money belt that I wear underneath the t-shirt,
right?
So as not to see, so people don't think I've got any money on me. And if I get mugged, I can just go, "I haven't got any money on me," because they would never think to look underneath the shirt and see the money belt. Right?
Well, that's still out of reach, isn't it, over there?
Yeah, and they are actually looking up your t-shirt.
Well, it's funny you should say that, right? Because I went to a market at one point just to look at the things that were for sale there. There's lots of eels and lots of fish and lots of other interesting items, right? So I'm looking at the market, I'm taking some photos, and I noticed this, I hear this kind of murmur, right, that's going around the market, and then I start to see all the people in the market sort of pointing, right, and staring and talking at something, right? So I'm looking around, trying to figure out what it is, right? And I realise they're looking and pointing at me. I genuinely swear to God, right? So they start, and then...
Did they think one of the big eels had escaped?
Well, they started laughing.
Oh no.
They started openly pointing and laughing. One of them, right, started, I think he was a postman. He looked like he might be a Vietnamese postman. I don't know why that should make any difference, but he started doing a sort of lumbering, sort of Frankenstein walk. And pointing at me, right? A whole section of them just started cackling with laughter. And then at one point, a woman in one of those sort of Vietnamese lampshade hats, right? She runs up behind me and she attaches to my back a sort of kick me thing that you would have attached to some nerd at school's back, right? She'd actually put something like that on my back. I don't realise initially, so they're just chortling. They are weeping by now, and I'm talking like the whole market is in hysterics, and old ladies are coming up to me and just comparing their heights and then giggling, and then I'm sort of trying to get this thing off my back so I look like a dog, chasing his tail, and I just realised that this entire marketplace was just openly laughing at me. And what angered me, Rick, was that I've spent a lot of time in this country, in the UK, right, building up a career, right, so that people don't laugh at me, right? They respect me. They see me as a man of great accomplishments and achievements. Yeah. I go to another country where
with that hat.
Exactly.
Walking around with those glasses with a little money belt on, maybe sandals
with socks because I got a foot infection. And it turns out that they're just laughing at me, just openly mocking and laughing at me, right? So I just genuinely, I got upset, and I got
you threw down your cagoule, left your clogs behind, and got on the first plane back.
I hopped in a rickshaw straight back to the hotel, where they do not laugh at me openly. But anyway, just to return to the dong issue, right? This was what worried me, was that obviously you got a tip. So we had a driver for a few days, right? And you got to leave him a tip. And I never feel a bit awkward. When do you give him the tip and everything? How does it work? And so I didn't know how much it should be. And I was thinking, well, it's a poor country. I've had a driver a couple of days. I haven't paid for the driver, so I give him like $20. Right, which is like 10 quid. I'm thinking that seems like a good tip. I get in there. I read in the guidebook. I should have only given him $2. I gave him 20. Well, because you don't want to upset the precious equilibrium. You don't want to upset the financial equilibrium, because he might have gone berserk. Yeah. That's $20 is a lot to him. He might have left his family, bought a different, corrugated iron shack somewhere else.
Turned up with a hat like yours and said,
exactly, we're mates now, aren't we?
We're mates now. Let's go back to England.
Let's pick up some ladies. So I was a bit worried, so I was thinking of asking for the money, for some change, but I didn't think that was appropriate. So, but then I was worried, because then I was thinking, what if all the other drivers within his organisation find out that I've given him like $20? They're all going to be expecting a big tip. Yeah. So that was a big worry. But more than that, we'd also had a guide with us, so he was bound to find out how the things. Right, now I didn't have any dollars left, and I thought, well, I've given that guy 20. I got to give the guy who's been talking English to us, showing us around, helping us out, I got to give him 50. Even more. Right, I ended up giving him $1 million dong.
And how much is that?
$63. I tipped someone $1 million.
So he's a millionaire now.
Yeah, I made someone a millionaire through my generosity.
Well, so did I. He's sitting over there.
That's absolutely right.
But he doesn't want to give anything back. So I know how you feel, mate.
Old man, look at my life.